And today we have a reading for you about somebody who has had a pretty difficult go of their romantic life. And a lot of what, now that they're looking back, a lot of what had gotten in the way was how they view themselves or their own insecurities. There were relationships that may have even been kind of doomed from the start because of those insecurities or that lack of being able to communicate or even just like um, share your feelings, right? So I'm sensing we have someone here who has learned this lesson. I know that what's really important before I get into a relationship is to understand who I am, know what I want, and also be able to, like convey those things. So we have someone who's learned to love themselves first, and now they have a crush, or now they have some person here who is making them feel the feels. And it's like, there's hesitation, right? I want to see if this is going to work out better, but there's like nervousness. Like, what if this ends up repeating the same thing, right? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Happy Friday. Hello, Iris. If you are interested in a personal message or personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com, and you can find that in the description box in case I said that too quickly, along with additional information on how to become a member of the channel and get extra content, as well as where to find my candles on Etsy. All right, let's see. What should we do? We've got the little love reading here. We're going to start with the Shadowscapes Tarot. Hello, Rufio. How are you doing? Can you do me a favor? Keep it not capitalized letters. I feel like you're yelling at me. I'm doing well, and I hope you are as well. What else do we have? Seven of Cups, King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in the reverse. So looking back, I realize now that there was multiple relationships that didn't go the way that I wanted it to, and the common denominator was whether or not I felt grounded in my own energy or whether or not I understood, myself, loved myself. So the Ace of Wands is in the reverse because this was considered like a failure or a missed opportunity. Maybe those relationships would have gone better, or maybe I would still be in one of those relationships if I had worked out how to navigate conflict or, emotions and expectations with a little bit more respect and care for myself. Two of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Pentacles, and Temperance. I'm proud of you. Whoever this is, they were like, okay, so I think it's not necessarily that I'm choosing wrong, and it could be that as well, but I can't expect to have a healthy relationship when the way I view myself isn't exactly healthy, right? So I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to stay single, Nine of Pentacles, and I don't know, maybe play some piano or get back involved in some of those extracurriculars and hobbies that I really enjoy. And when I find that I feel grounded, maybe I can pursue relationships again. This is someone who really felt like they needed to go within and work on themselves before trying to fall in love again. Three of Cups in the reverse and the King of Wands in the reverse. Okay. There's someone who's mad about this. We have a person who is trying to be accepting of the fact that you stepped away from the dating scene and worked on yourself. I do think this is someone who's a bit thirsty. And I think you stepped away and it upset them. They might have been a little obsessed with you, or they might have been trying to convince you to change your intentions or how you were going about this. But we have someone here who's frustrated, and I feel like it's because they know once you get a little bit more comfortable with who you are as a person, you're not going to tolerate some of that same behavior in romantic relationships as you used to, right? So it's just kind of like They're mad because now they have to actually work on themselves if they want anything to do with you, right? Hey James, how you doing today? Emma, happy Friday. Thank you for the tip. Let me write that down for you. How does Allie feel towards Emma? I've added that for you. Thank you. Oh, I already put those back. All right, let's go for the Tattoo Tarot, see what else we've got. Hey Gnostic, how are you doing? I hope you have some fun plans for the weekend. I think I'm gonna go on a little adventure this afternoon. All right, what else do we have? Oh, you're a James too? Oh my gosh. I do think my channel kind of is like a magnet for James's. James. Hello, Nancy. How are you doing? So we have Strength and the Four of Wands. I'm so proud of you. This is saying you have overcome a limitation that you realized was making it impossible for you to have this relationship. The Four of Wands, by the way, is like leveling up or milestones, right? Like getting married. This is saying you've been able to remove the block that had made it impossible for you to deal with people that could treat you the way you deserve to be treated. You pulled back, you kept your energy to yourself, you reworked a few things, you understood a little bit better what you're looking for and what you're willing to tolerate. And as a result, there's somebody over here who's mad. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't love bomb you anymore? That's not gaslighting. I had a text exchange with somebody once who was like straight up gaslighting me, no question whatsoever, right? And I ended up just basically like screenshotting the Merriam-Webster's definition of gaslighting and sent it right to him. And I was like, here's what you did, and here's the definition of gaslighting. Where's the lie? Oh, that's right. There is none. Hello, how's it going, Koto? Did I say hello to Nancy? I think I did. Hello, Vinny. How are you doing? Hello, Vaccinator. Happy Friday. I'm happy to help you. So we've got the Moon in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. A loss. Why does it make me chuckle though? I feel like this is somebody who's like, oh man, somebody stole my. But it's not that like somebody else stole you from this person. It's that you recognize that they have no reason whatsoever to expect someone of your caliber to be interested in some of their caliber. I'm not out here saying you better than them, they can't ever be with. It's about, are they willing to approach you with respect to what you're looking for and what your boundaries are? Because we could argue all day about this person's the best, that person's the worst. But what it really comes down to is, are you capable of being in a relationship with somebody if those lifestyle choices or those goals or those approaches to communication or monogamy are not on the same page? So you've leveled up, you've become more of an adult, and this person from your past or these people who knew you before, they're frustrated because it's not as easy to, get close to somebody who has respect for themselves unless you're actually willing to do right by them. So people are learning they need to like keep it moving if they can't do right by you. And I rather like that. Yes, exactly. Vinny, it's reading energy, right? And leveraging the tarot cards artwork to be able to pick up on those details. So, for example, this particular card, it's got the Knight of Cups. This is about generally making an offer in love or being kind of charming. But you see that the cup in front of his face is just a white space. This is indicating that somebody would be pursuing something and kind of like dreaming about the future without any intentions of actually pursuing it, right? Hello, me, myself, and I. How you doing today? Hello, Christina. How are you? Thank you for the tip. Okay. Distant and not and inconsistent. How to proceed? Cairo. Move on or wait? I've added that. And Christina, if you are new to the channel, I just wanted to make sure to let you know, wow, it was 11:11 when I checked the timer. I do the personal questions once the general reading is completed, which usually takes about 30 to 35 minutes. So probably about 20 minutes from now, I'll start those personal questions. So feel free to enjoy the live chat or the general reading until then. Hello, Miss Tori. How are you doing? Hello, Yo-Yo. Hey, Swamp Thing. Please stop telling strangers how to live their life. I'm getting real sick of telling people to be respectful in my live chat. So I'm kind of at the point now where, like, real talk, if someone's going to disobey the rules that I set for the live chat, which are shown to you before you come into the live chat, right? I'm just gonna delete. I'm just gonna block. I'm a little short on patience with that right now. Hello, Wendy. How are you doing? Hello, Jen. See, and the other thing, Vinny, is even if Swamp knows that the Bible was recorded accurately over 20,000 years ago and not, oh, I don't know, overly edited by people who wanted to like adjust that message, it still says in there, judge not yet ye be judged. Let's use our beliefs and our, I don't know, dogmas to be closer with each other instead of dividing, right? I think if you want to use religion in order to divide you from other people or judge other people, especially when you just met them, you're doing it wrong, okay? That faith should be bringing you closer to people and helping you to understand more about yourself instead of just trying to like leverage you over others, right? Hello, Bearcat. How you doing? You ain't wrong. And I spent a lot of time in church growing up, just so you all know. I don't think I want to tell you specifically too much, but it really gets under my skin when people try to use those things, devices like religion, to divide people, when there's so much to be gained for us to find commonalities with each other and learn from each other. King of Swords in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. I don't really like this energy, but I do feel like this is the person who is mad that you've been working on yourself. We've got someone who liked to manipulate or influence your view of yourself or your view of them, i.e., gaslighting, right? And now they're finding that they have like no ability to influence your perception because you realized that your lack of love for yourself made you susceptible to manipulation from this person. And now you're above that. Now this person's realizing that you don't really care what they think about you, or you're not interested in acting the way that they would expect you to. Yeah. Yes, I could see that. Well, but anything that exists in the world, there's going to be someone who tries to find a way to pervert that use, right? Let's just think about all the people who are on LinkedIn trying to talk about business, and yet there's still people sliding into the DMs being like, "Hey, do you want to go on a date?" Like, this is clearly not for people to be dating, right? So I think that kind of happens with regards to religion as well. We've got the Knight of Wands. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is somebody who is very physically attracted to you, and they're coming in quick. They're going to be pursuing you. But I want to know, is this different from this King of Swords in the reverse, or is this the same person? Okay, it's the same person. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Cups, and the Tower. It's funny what a little bit of healing or a little bit of therapy will do for you, or even just like a nice chat with your best friend to remind you of what you deserve and how to stand on 10 toes, right? I'm not going to back down from what I know my boundaries are or the respect that I know I deserve in this situation. And if it doesn't work for you, then you can like head out, right? Just like me bouncing people from my live chat. Hello, Jesse. How are you doing? I'd be happy to pull some cards for you. I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. So feel free to attach your question to a super chat. But you can also donate a membership to someone else in a live chat if you'd like me to pull some cards for you. Quick reading request. Should I slide into our DMs on LinkedIn? Yeah, dude, like for real. I've had some interesting messages on LinkedIn. I don't really check it anymore, so hopefully that means it's not an issue, but people will see that there is a stated purpose or like mission for a, let's just say an application, and they will still abuse it. They will still try to make it what they want, right? Hello, Zara. How are you doing? I love that name. I really don't know how to say your name, though. Did I say Anath yesterday? How are you doing? Thank you, Miss Tori. Magician in the reverse. Oh, are they mad they can't manipulate you anymore? They're so bummed. They can't lie to you anymore and expect you to believe them. I really got no time for this person who's mad that you have worked on yourself and you're not willing to tolerate their BS treatment. I have no patience for them. I don't care. They want to be able to freely manipulate you, and they're all mad over here because you've learned how to love yourself and that you don't need to tolerate people like this. Like, I would point and laugh at them. Like, sucks to be you. Maybe you should just like deal with people in like an honest way. That'd be interesting, right? Hello, Jamie. Let me add that for you, Jesse. Thank you. Does X want to come back? Recently broke up, no contact. And I'm sorry you're going through that, Jesse. But their phone is still on. Yeah, that's kind of strange unless they left it with somebody, but then why would it still need to be on, right? We will dig into that for you, Jesse. Thank you. What else do we have? Hello, Shane. How are you doing? So we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. That's you healing your energy, not willing to take people's lame ass offers anymore. So you're done with that cycle. You're done dealing with people who just want to gaslight or manipulate you, cheat on you, or lie to you about their intentions. You're over it. Your intuition is guiding you away from those types of individuals. And the unhealed people are the ones that are getting mad at you. That's fine. They can be mad all they want. It's not going to change what you deserve, right? Hello, how's it going, George? We've got Israel. Sure, I absolutely can. I will pull a few cards for you. I've added you to the list. Thank you. What else do we have? Ace of Cups in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse, and the Emperor. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so for whatever reason, I'm seeing Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's the second one, right? Where they start off and Groot is like baby Groot and like dancing around while everything is like blowing up behind little baby Groot. I feel like this is saying in this kind of destructive setting or dealing with a bunch of manipulative, unhealed people, I see you just kind of like skipping through, like, I figured it out and I don't have to pay attention to you or you or you. I'm just going to do me. So I see an improvement in your mood. I see you feeling more confident and I see you knowing where you should be heading, who you should be spending time with. So your discernment has improved, my friend, and I am proud of you. You are not going to waste any of your time with these Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Swords in the reverse types who just lie and try to get whatever they want without being considerate of your emotions. Hello, Ray. Hello, MTM. How we doing? Nope. So Jesse, I'll make sure to announce your name before I do the question for you. So we'll start those personal questions in about like 13 minutes or so. We'll start with Emma, then Christina, and then it's you, Jesse, and then Israel after that. So it looks like I handled Christina's question too. I hope you heard that, Christina. Otherwise, just rewind for a little bit. Baby Groot must be protected at all costs. I agree, Matt. Hello, Casey. How are you doing? No problem. So, King of Pentacles is your energy, right along with that Emperor. This does not mean that you have to be a man, but it does mean that you're leveraging that masculine energy, because we all have masculine and feminine energy, okay? You're leveraging that to walk away from the people who are like this, the people who think that they can get their way without doing right by others. And the Eight of Pentacles. I see a lot of you focused on your goals, focused on your work. I see someone out there who is focused on physical health and mental health. And that is a worthy goal, my friend, because I feel like we got to glow up and somebody coming back around to the social community. And people are like, dang, something's changed for them. I like it. What else? Temperance, the Hermit, and the Nine of Cups. I know I've already said, I'm so proud of you. You're like, okay, so if I figure things out internally, like emotionally for myself, and get like some sort of balance figured out and things are working the way I want, then I have the ability to be a little bit pickier or more selective or, pace things correctly and not get caught up in a connection with somebody whose intentions are misleading or manipulating me. So we have someone who's much more confident in being able to pursue things with a person that respects and genuinely cares for them versus getting caught up because, oh, you're hot and you kind of think I'm hot. So like maybe I'll chase you for a while before I get disappointed, you know? Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Yes, we are at 24 minutes, so still like maybe 9 minutes of the general. So we have the Knight of Swords, and I gotta say, like, I would love to have some armor that is just like, I don't know. I think that's a cat face. Maybe it's like a lion face on his chest plate. But that would be cool, right? No, Carmen, you already have 2 cat tattoos. I don't think you need to have another cat. I was standing in line at Walgreens one day right after I had gotten this tattoo, because this was the second one, and kind of zoning out, waiting for the cashier to call me forward. And this guy joins the line behind me and said, "Wow, you must really like cats, huh?" And I hadn't really like realized how obvious it was. I was like, "What do you mean?" Oh, he's like, "Well, you have 2 cat tattoos that I can see right now." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Sorry." You're sending out a message. It's not so much that you love cats. It's more so like you're not taking anybody's BS anymore. So there's like rumors or conversations happening amongst people that know you, or maybe even used to date you, or maybe want to date you. And it's like, hey, have you heard what I heard? It sounds like this person's like totally different. Or like they're not like taking crap from anybody anymore. They're like only interested in relationships with people who are like equal give and take. That's weird, right? Like when did that change? You can talk about it all you want, but it's not going to change back to what it was because you are now this hermit. Now you know that that person's trouble, and that person's not worth it, and that person's bad in bed. You're not going to get caught up in those connections anymore, you know? Hanged man. You got some people confused. They don't know what to do because they feel like they would get rejected, and that's just fine. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is about the change that has happened. People are seeing that you are not like how you used to be, or that you're not putting up with the same treatment that you had before. This is the Energy Oracle. Aw, thanks, Ray. Well, I'm still proud of you for it, Rachel. You probably made it look pretty graceful. What else do we have? A man holding a heart. It's kind of funny actually, because like he's holding the heart, but then there's also a heart like on his leg, like his pant leg. And it's kind of like, that's weird. Maybe he's got two hearts. But we have someone who is saying, I know what I want, and I'm not going to let anybody date me or be in my energy like that unless they're looking for the same thing. I'm not going to settle. I deserve like true love. I deserve a happy, healthy relationship. I'm not into that like manipulating, gaslighting BS. There is someone who straight up expected to be your person and expected to be able to like not give you the treatment that you deserve but still be able to get what they want from the relationship, and they are furious that you're over here like, no, I don't want that anymore. They were pretty confident that they had sold their brand of love to you, and you were like, oh my god, thank you, it's great. And you're like, no, I don't want to settle for someone who's going to just, try to convince me that this is what a loving relationship is like, or try to convince me that, my perception is wrong. I want to be with somebody who is going to treat me with respect and love. If the King of Swords in reverse can't handle it, that's not your fault. You ain't got to change just to make them happy. You changed to make yourself happy, and that was the right move. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. Redbeard, you better be nice to my friend. What else do we have? Four of Honey, which is the Four of Pentacles. I'd like to show you the art, but we got some titties here. I don't think YouTube wants me to show it to you. Here, let's just. I found a sports bra for her. We've got the Five of Songs as well, which would be the Five of Cups. There's a lot going on in this picture. And I think this is the state of confusion that someone felt trying to understand, why do I keep having the same outcome in a relationship even though I'm dating different people? And finally they realized it's because I allow these partners to treat me in a way that is not what I want. If I change how I view myself and the boundaries or the standards that I pursue relationships with, then maybe I can like avoid all of that. Maybe I don't have to deal with those kinds of individuals at all. You really don't? Okay, I like this. So King of Swords in the reverse, real mad. Doesn't have to be a man, right? real mad that you're learning to love yourself and not interested in dealing with people who are going to be mistreating you, is going to get even more upset because there's this King of Cups entering the equation. This is an emotionally mature person who is interested in pursuing a relationship with you. And I feel like this is like the beginning stages where you were like, I'm focused on myself. I'm not going to like fall into any of those old relationships. I'm breaking that pattern. But then it brings a new love for you who's actually able to fit that mold, right? Like that Nine of Cups, this is what I want. I want somebody who's going to be respectful and communicative and loving and compassionate and reliable. They find that. So the Hermit, Emperor energy, the person who's been maturing, they're surprised to find that it's working. So you mean when I reject the people who don't treat me right, I eventually run into somebody who's going to treat me right? Well, that's cool. Then I will definitely reject these people and wait for the person who's going to treat me right. I know, isn't it great, Rachel? Yep. So we have the Six of Skins, which is the Six of Wands, and talks about victory. Three of Songs, or Three of Cups. I love this for you so much. You've banished the fake love from your life. You've let everybody know, like, you know, those obnoxious text messages that they send to everybody. I shouldn't say obnoxious because some of them are actually trying to like save a life. But when they just like send it to everybody, right? Let's use a company email as an example. They send out a mass email and then someone hits reply all, that kind of thing. We've got someone who's realizing like I can just eliminate and avoid those difficult relationships by having a more discerning energy. And that manifests in or draws in the love of a lifetime. Ace of Songs is the Ace of Cups. So now we have someone who's feeling like love is much easier to find because they found themselves and they're totally familiar with what they want. They're not just accepting what is offered, right? How does the X feel? Hi, Lee. Happy Friday. And you don't deserve that, Lee. So let's see what we get for you. I'm going to add that you called him out. All right, just a couple more. We got to get started on those personal readings. James, does that mean you don't want me to pull cards for you? I always like to make sure. Either way, I appreciate you. Nine of Dreams, which is the Nine of Swords in the reverse. The Magician. And the Three of Dreams or Three of Swords. There's going to be someone here who's mad because you are falling in love with someone who is worthy of your heart. And it means that they don't have a chance to prove themselves worthy themselves. But they took too long. They slept on you. They did not take advantage of the opportunity to work on themselves. Instead, they looked at it as, oh, I'll always be able to manipulate you. This is great. I don't need to work on myself because you make it easy for me. And then you stopped making it easy for them. And now they're realizing they broke their own heart by choosing to not do right by you and just kind of half, I don't know if they get mad when I say that, half arse what they were doing with this relationship. And it means they're losing you. It means they don't get to have you in their life. So I'm proud of you, and I love that your love life is getting better. This reading makes me very happy. All right, we're going to switch over to the personal questions. We've got Emma, and then Christina, and then Jesse, Israel, Lee, and then James. Did he answer? Later. Okay. Sounds good. Hello. Is it Shandana? Or Shonda? I hope I'm saying your name right. One of the boys. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? All right. So for Emma, we've got, how does Allie feel about Emma? We have the Emperor, the King of Wands, the Tower in the reverse, Ten of Pentacles, and the Star. There's a change in perspective or opinion that has happened here after weeks or perhaps even months of regret or remorse, feeling like I could have handled things differently. There's some fire energy here. I don't know if you have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius future prominently in your chart, or if this is Allie's, but it's giving like, I know if I want something to happen, I can't just sit around and wait forever. I have to do something soon. So there's this question mark. Do I do something or do I just like forget and let it go? And with the Star, there's an acknowledgement that there's something about you that is different from everybody else. So will there be pursuit? No. Insecurities abound. Concerns, worries, anxieties. Oh, really? It looks to me like Allie is finding a sneaky way to find out what's going on in your life. So that could be like catfishing your social media. So even though you think they have no way of figuring out what's going on, I feel like Allie is finding a way to look at what you're up to without you realizing it. So doing some reconnaissance or some research perhaps to see what should I actually do? Should I strike up a conversation or, talk about how I'm feeling? I think there's no contact for a bit longer. And then finally, there's something here that acts as a catalyst. And it's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to do something to communicate because it's just been too long. Hey, Raziel, how are you doing? Emma, I hope that helps and that you have a lovely weekend. Let's see what we've got for Christina. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. No, Cat's Eye Tarot. So, how to proceed with Cairo, who's been acting distant. What is the advice for Christina, please? Well, it's more positive than I was expecting. We have the Lovers indicating a choice or, some concern, right, over a person that you feel connection with. And with the Six of Cups, I kind of feel like this is a reminder of someone from one's youth. So is this saying that there's some concern over Christina being like an ex? I don't know if it's necessarily, I don't think it's like you look like this person, but there's something here where it's like, I'm afraid of things repeating, history repeating, if this is similar to a person from my past. I don't want to have healed from that and then just like step right back into that. So is this like baseless fears? Yes. Self-sabotage. Five of Swords. So we've got someone who's assuming the worst about you because of fear of heartbreak and therefore causing some distance between the two of you. Nine of Pentacles, feeling like things are safer if they're on their own or not in a relationship, not dependent upon someone else. Is this something that will be dealt with? No. I think yes, the answer is to move on, because there's too much indecisiveness on the part of Cairo. I don't think you have to be responsible for this person making changes in terms of how they deal with emotional connections. It's just not your job. They're blaming you for something that happened with someone else. Maybe not as cut and dry as that, right? Like you broke my heart 3 years ago. No, more so because my heart was broken 3 years ago. I don't feel like I can trust you. And even though I tell you that I'm working on it, I still have these like thoughts in my head that make it seem impossible for us to actually be happy. So this is not your responsibility. This is not your fault. But I also don't think that they're being very honest with you about their mindset. I think they're trying to be a little bit more positive, but the truth is they're terrified. They're not ready for love. So they don't deserve to be wasting your time. You deserve someone who's ready. And when they see how awesome you are, they're like, let's do this, right? This person's hesitating. Even though they can see you're awesome. It's like, okay, well, then you snooze, you lose. That's how that goes. So you deserve better. Yeah, that's true. You're welcome, Christina. Thank you for being so kind to each other in the live chat. You don't know how much that means to me. I love that. Let's see what we've got for Jessie. Jessie's asking, does my ex want to come back? Looks like you are no contact. And then we have a question regarding whether or not they're actually in rehab. Does Jessie's ex want to reconcile with Jessie? Yes, but there's a hesitation here. Fool in the reverse following the Tower. Page of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Swords in the reverse. I don't like this. Yes, there is a desire to get back together, but there's something dishonest about it. There's a lack of emotional maturity and a lack of honesty about what was it that caused this argument or this breakup to happen in the first place. Is Jesse's ex at rehab? I feel like there's a decision to do it, but that's not happened yet. So is this something like they're able to do, but they haven't like actually gone? Five of Wands in the reverse, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. No, I think this is an excuse. I think this is saying, I haven't actually done that yet, but I want you to think that I'm working on something important and I don't want to be criticized for the lack of communication. So what is the ex actually doing? Being secretive. Are they spending their time with a romantic interest? Are they flirting online? Yes. So will they be in rehab in the next 2 months? There is a good chance this person's going to do rehab. There is a good chance they're using this as an excuse to keep you off their back, but they haven't actually like walked into that yet. They're still dealing with something here that has not completed or been dealt with. Jessie, I think you deserve better. This is inconsistent and secretive behavior. And you deserve a partner who wants to work with you and like include you in their life, as opposed to you stay out there. You don't get to know what's going on with me. I don't want to tell you what's happening. I do think that they want to reconcile, but your ex is not in a great place for that because honesty is not even close to being like the cornerstone of their connection with you. And you deserve that. You deserve that honesty. Hello, me, myself, and I. How's it going? So, Jessie, I hope things go well for you. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. And I also hope that the healing or recovery goes well for your ex. Let's see what we've got for Israel. This is the cats rule the earth. I'm so proud of you, Miss Tori. What message do we have for Israel, please? What does Israel need to know? Two Cups, Tower in the reverse, Death, Ten of Cups in the reverse, Sun in the reverse, and the Page of Wands in the reverse. Israel, there is someone in your life that could be, like a friend or a romantic interest with this Two of Cups. But this is someone who you've had difficult conversations with in the past. And there's been a shift in this person's perspective or their understanding, maybe even just like their whole worldview. And this has changed because someone has passed over. This has changed maybe even because they had a situation that got real scary or an NDE. This person is not the same. They see things very differently now. They're looking back on how they approached things and it's like cringe. Like, why did I think that was the right way to treat people? Why did I think that was the right approach? I clearly had the wrong understanding or I didn't know what I was really doing. Was that edgy enough for you? What else do we have? That wasn't to you, Israel. That was to the troll. So we've got Knight of Cups in the reverse. Someone who has been moody and difficult and maybe self-absorbed is realizing I need to do things differently. Kind of a Christmas Carol story here. So this could be a family member, this could be a friend, or like I said, it could be a romantic partner of sorts. But we have a change. I've been selfish, I've been mistreating people, and I need to do things differently now. So there is a change. It's almost like their personality changes overnight or, since the last time you saw them, and you're like, who are you and what did you do with my friend? They've changed, but at least it's for the better. They're going to treat people with more respect. They feel ashamed for how they treated others. They got a little swift kick in the... Yeah. Can't do that anymore. Gonna have to be nicer. So I feel like you're gonna notice a pretty significant change in someone. And it's for a real reason. I think they really do want to change how they've been approaching things. So hopefully that benefits you. Let's see. We'll go with the Noisy Tarot next. Hello, Desiree. How are you doing? Tori, I like you. Hey, Jean-Jacques de Salinas, don't be talking to Rachel like that, okay? I'm gonna bounce you from the live chat if you're disrespectful to my moderators. Who is she to tell people what to do? She's the person that I gave the power to tell people what to do in my live chat, okay, homie? Rachel takes care of people who are being insolent and bounces people who are being disrespectful. So let's see if we can reroute that attitude of yours so you don't get bounced, okay? Hello, Ralph. How's it going? So we've got Lee's question, which is, how does the ex feel after Lee called him out? This is different than before. Which means I feel like your message or your calling him out had more weight to it this time than it has in the past. So is he actually taking you seriously? Okay. Well, that's good. That doesn't mean he's perfect, right? But I do feel like there is an understanding, like, I pushed her too far. I am on thin ice and I probably need to be a little bit cautious. Girl, I think you did a pretty good job here because he's trembling a little bit. He's like, oh, maybe I'm making things worse for myself by trying to be so mean to Lee. Yeah, he is. Like, if he had a couple more brain cells to rub together, he would realize real quick that his life, in part, is so complex and frustrating and difficult because of the energy that he sends your way, because of the difficulty he tries to send to you. So he's figuring it out slowly. Again, he's not perfect, but there is a thought process here of, am I the villain? Am I making things worse for myself? Yes. Yes, you are. So a little bit of discovery, right? Is there going to be changed behavior? Come on. Let's do it. Womp, 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 womp. We apparently have to be just a little bit patient. He is processing and a little at a time getting closer to the idea of maybe if I work with Lee, things won't be as difficult for me. Okay. I'm gonna put you a little timeout. It's just a little baby timeout, okay? Jean or Jean. And I'm gonna tell you real quick, you're not answering the question. You don't want to deal with the fact that you were like picking a fight with my moderator. But I'm also gonna tell you real quick, if you think you can punish the karmic, you are signing yourself up for more bad karma, which makes a lot of sense to me because of how you've acted in the live chat. But real quick, your energy, your time that you dedicate to pursuits like revenge is a waste. You want to know why? You will never, ever, ever, I don't care how creative you are, come up with a better punishment or karma for someone than the universe. Let the universe sort it out. It ain't your job. But it might hint at a little bit of narcissism or, I get to do everything. Let the universe sort it out. Hello Vince, how are you doing? From Wisconsin? Hello Successful Trillionaire, how are you doing? Vince, I don't know if I've told you this already. I love Wisconsin. I'm from Minnesota originally, and some of the best cheese I've ever had in my entire life, of course, is from Wisconsin. I don't drink anymore, but I also had the most epic Bloody Mary of my life at Sobelman's in Milwaukee. Chef's kiss. And then I also lost my ID. Okay, karma story time. I lost my ID. Definitely not related to the fact that I was drunk. No. We had a major, what was it? I think it was the Gray Tour. Definitely got wasted. Couldn't find my ID. Woke up the next morning. I was freaking out. And it wasn't even just the normal ID. It was, I had just had to get a new ID. So it was like the paper with my old ID and clipped, which meant it would be absolutely insanity for me to try to get a a new ID. So I went back to the bar that I had gone to the night before and I was like, hi. It was like, I don't know, maybe like 2 p.m. I was like, any chance you found my ID? No, we didn't find anything like that. And then another coworker is like, you might want to look through the garbage from last night, though. It might be in there. I found my ID. Hello, AJ. How are you doing? Very nice, Vince. All right. So, Lee, I'm wishing you luck. I just want to ask real quick, are things going to get easier if he's learning this? There you go, Lee. Some hope for your Friday. He's figuring things out. He might be a little bit slow, okay? I'm not trying to insult his mental capacity. I'm saying slow to change because he's resistant to giving you what you want. He likes being a thorn in your side, but he's starting to realize it impacts him negatively. And that's what motivates him to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the chuckles. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will. Oh, hold on. It's the last one. Yes, we'll go with the catamancy. I think that's what it is. I was almost to the end, you guys, but when I see a super chat, I'm not gonna dip out on you. So Christina's asking, how do I move on from Cairo? I got attached and filled down. No contact for 4 days. How can Christina get over Cairo? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. 9 of Coins or 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. 9 of Cups in the reverse. And the Tower in the reverse. So there's like negative and positive reinforcement, right? The negative reinforcement, it's like remind yourself of the things this person does that do not align with how you know you deserve to be treated. Don't worry, Christina, you're good, girl. I don't know if you have anything posted, and maybe this is a little strange, but what I'm seeing in my mind is the list of, I think it was like 77 reasons or something that I put on my refrigerator when I quit smoking cigarettes, and I put it up there on the refrigerator so that I would see it every day and it would reinforce that, right? So you could be a little bit funny with it and create like your own meme with Cairo's face on it. You could literally list out all the things that are not okay that this person has done to you or how they have failed to follow through on their own promises. But I do feel like there's also a positive reinforcement element here. I don't know you, Christina, but I know your energy because of this reading. You are delightful. You don't deserve to be putting up with somebody who wants to keep you guessing. And I don't know if you've got, some close friends or family members who are particularly good at reminding you of what is so amazing about you. But I do see there being something here where you get a little reminder of, you know what? I'm awesome. And that friend sees it, and that person sees it. So this isn't as bad as I thought it was. You start to see how, like, large the gap is between what you deserve and how this person was willing to treat you. So let me just look right in the camera and say, you are a lovely human who deserves to be with somebody who is amazing. Someone who people can see, wow, there's chemistry there and they treat each other so well. There's not a doubt in my mind that that person adores Christina. And I see that happening for you. So focus on what it is that you want in a relationship. And I see you manifesting that person into your life. But it requires you to first identify that Cairo is a King of Cups in the reverse. King of Cups in the reverse is someone who does not have the emotional maturity that they should at their age. So I see you being truthful with yourself and saying, I just caught the ick. I don't even know what I saw in you. You're going to identify a new love interest. And I do feel like within the next month or two, and it'll be very rewarding for you. So maybe focus on that, right? You got some good stuff coming your way, including someone who knows how to actually appreciate how delightful you are. All right, and then we had one from Successful Trillionaire. Why does my supervisor keep separating me from other coworkers? That's strange. Why does Successful Trillionaire's boss keep separating me from other coworkers? I don't like it. How does the manager view Successful Trillionaire, please? Okay, so this would be like someone who feels that there is a problem, but I don't know how to deal with that problem. So I'll create some instability and maybe that'll make the person like take care of the problem themselves. So is this somebody who wants Successful Trillionaire to quit? Yes, 4 of Cups. So you have someone here who feels like they can manipulate the environment or your working situation to make you feel like things are not going the way that you want them to. So this is a person who feels like they can't get the outcome they want right now. So they're trying to like engineer it, right? Trying to get it so that you do something that is a fireable offense or that you feel like you're ostracized and then you end up leaving. So is there a way to turn this around? I mean, you can, but I don't think it's worth it. I feel like this person is difficult. Is there a better job out there? Yes. There's a job where you would feel like you belong with people, but it's in a different location. Oh, good one, Carmen. You mean it's not at the exact same address as the current employer? You know what I mean, though, right? You got to look a little bit out of what you would normally be pursuing or what companies you already have worked for. There's something here where you get out of your comfort zone and find exactly where you're supposed to be. So at the end of the day, this manager might actually be kind of doing you a favor because you would be so much more successful elsewhere. They don't even deserve your efforts, really. Oh, I'm so glad y'all are being so kind to each other. Thank you. Did I say hello to April? Oh, good. I hope we get some good update from you, successful trillionaire. I'm sending abundance to you. I'm gonna cut it off there, you guys, and go get some food. I love y'all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.